And Duckie both take similar tactics to by using this ball and chain guard. Shockingly, one of the tougher enemies you might face in the Kazbut Sea, because you're typically at very low health when you're facing offensive ball and chain guard.
Yep. I'm a safe player when it comes to the ball and chain guard. I throw the pot, 4 hits. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hearing me out read yourselves. I'm Shinmaru and Kiebs. This is a Frankie Fusion 22 with me.
Just notified that commentary for a little bit. So yeah, we're here now.
We were only saying brilliant, genius observations about this game, to be sure.
Absolutely. So far, they're both making excellent time. I've learned kind of like time gates in Kazboots to hit certain points at certain times. So
yeah, if you're getting into this back of escape below but like 4 minutes ish, you're making pretty solid time.
Right. Yeah, these two runners are showing really good execution going through the escape sequence. Key dashes, dash lines, everything's what you would expect from these two runners, especially both of them at 5-0. Very nice 5-15s basically from both of them. Not bad. And they are just even more money. Very rich.
Yeah, Bydey a little bit behind, but he also did that map check, so for all intents and purposes, they're pretty much even.
Yeah. And this is where in a Kazboots, this is where, we all have our modes based on what, I know me, depending on what I get in escape depends on what I do, right? And, but once you hit, I think, the Kakariko point, this is where diversion sets in, and the knowledge these two runners have is vast, and it'll be interesting to see who goes where and who does what. What do we got on Lumberjack today? Looked like, I think it was money.
Yeah, it looked like money.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, good thing we already got a 300, because I think that's one we're not getting.
Right. Oof. Nice early lamp.
That's it. Yeah, I'm sure by this point, 2-5-0 runner is probably pretty decent at dark rooms, but you're not going to turn down. I mean, you're certainly not turning down a hook shot to start.
Hook shot and lamp, first two great items. I mean, that's always good to see. I love seeing hook shot early. It's good as well, especially in a non-Kazboot seed. It's great for mobility.
Yep. I saw game knowledge, getting at least one bomb, a little bonkable rock here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like at least having one bomb, one guaranteed bomb,
Right.
or blind set, so you don't have to go in and out, lose a lot of time.
No, I believe that green 20 was our boots.
Yep.
And powder. This is going to be a long seed.
No.
that's kind of how I'm feeling. Seeing those first two items. And cape, yep.
Yeah, given their most situations, they both, that makes sense. Both runners opting to see if they can get bombs, also before.
Yeah, if you can save the rupees, you know, you do it.
Yep. Oh.
Nope. Bomb for bombs.
Oh, there you go. Bydey, fortunately, won't be punished for accidentally letting out a bomb outside of Chicken Hut.
Who knows? Maybe that was
just making sure that Y button works.
Right.
So of course there's should be all bombs in here, right?
Or more rupees. Oh, nice.
That's a nice soap.
Well,
do you think this game wants us to go to the mountain at some point, Frankie?
I don't know. I think, you know, I think we need the hammer to fully round out that. Yeah, I think the mountain play is where it's at right now.
Yeah, they got a couple options they could go. Yeah, mountain gets you plenty of checks.
Yes.
South Shore always a solid option.
Yeah, very, very possible to have a vanilla pearl. Very possible. Yep. Ooh, nice bottle.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah,
I like that from Duckie. Using that moment to do a little map check.
Correct.
Decide for himself and just give himself a quick moment. Okay, do I want to get this item or do I want to save and quit?
Right. Now I wonder if they are going to go ahead and just run it back, or okay, so Duckie with a save and quit. Okay. Yeah, I was curious if either runner was going to run that back to Sick Kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the decision to continue on. Odds are that's probably not your pearl, or something like that. And you're gonna go back there and check it at some point anyway.
Yeah.
Just 20 rupees from the damn chest.
I like this play, doing South Shore before the mountain, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh,
flippers.
Yep. Yeah, these runners are almost very, very in sync with one another.
Yeah, no dirty Agina checkers today, which I think makes sense given the volume of items they have.
Yes.
Probably not something in a check that's pretty out of the way.
Yeah, with it.
I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan of the early Agina, but I don't think I would in this situation either.
Yeah. And the thing about it is too is with all of these items, you would think, oh, I mean, what are the odds? You know, I mean, we're good to go. They'll get Dark World access, but flippers and hookshot are West Side Dark World access, even if you do Aga. So it's, you know, there's a very good chance this could be an Aga seed.
Yeah, definitely not out of the woods. Still missing two Dark World access items, whether it's mitts or hammer and the Moon Pearl.
Yep.
So more, even more options to go to now. They have this bow.
Yep. And with Eastern being a crystal, you know, I think I wonder if they're going to take that bait first before the mountain, because it is a clearable dungeon, and you never know.
Yep. It's an interesting choice in and of itself, because with Mirror, you're kind of thinking, okay, maybe I can combo pod and Eastern, but also you don't know what pod is yet. It could very well be a pendant. Well, Mountain also, you're thinking like, okay, maybe I can get mitts before I come up here and clear even more of it. Maybe I get Pearl before I come up here. Lots of little things to take into mind when you're kind of making these high-level decisions.
Yes, indeed. Though I will say, if it's pendant pod, I'm dipping in. I don't care anymore. Lately, that's all it seems to be. Pendant pod, you must dip.
I know there are more than a few people in the community welcoming you into the fold after that statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, just the piece of heart on the man under the bridge. Both runners heading toward waterfall. Duckie preparing. Yeah, make sure they got an empty bottle throw in there.
Yep. Oh, Bydey not checking the Phyrie today. And we get red potion.
Oh, nice red potion. Okay, well, I missed what was on Zora Ledge. I think we'll probably catch it for when Duckie passes by.
Bydey did not peek the ledge, actually.
Oh, he just kind of passed by. Okay.
Yeah.
And another bottle. Okay. Well. The man under the bridge. Question in chat. What was the man under the bridge? Just a piece of heart. So these the slippers not paying off immediately. Which makes you think, okay, Ice Palace, Swamp Palace, especially with the mirror.
Yep. And there we go. Our first diversion. So we got Duckie to go up the mountain, and Bydey going over towards Eastern.
Yep.
Yeah, just more rupees and arrows in Sahas. Not much there.
Spidey Eastern, Duckie rescuing the old man, just 10 arrows, and a whole lot of rocks to the face.
Yes. Those cabbages, man.
Yep. Okay, Spec Rock, just 20 rupees, and Piece of Heart in Eastern. No immediate Dark World map check from Duckie, just going to Hera. Ooh, very nice Harapot from Duckie. Bydey hitting for Eastern Palace, big key chest.
Now, of course, we found that small key to Tower of Hera.
Oh boy, and there is 100% something in the basement.
Yep. So let me ask you a question. At this stage, do you do Hera basement?
I definitely check out the rest of the mountain first. If I don't have if I'm still really lacking Dark World items, I definitely consider it.
Gotcha.
Especially if I don't have Pearl, I'm probably doing the basement just because the time loss if coming back up here, if you have to, kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. I think at this stage for me, I'm definitely doing Hera basement just because there's so much you can still get, and I have a bad tendency of having things.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. They don't have a hammer. Okay, that's also a consideration.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, blaze the basement. Yeah, pretty strongly. I forgot about
hammer.
the no hammer. Yeah. So yeah, getting back to Hera without a hammer sucks.
Excellent Armos kill for Bydey here.
And yeah, it does not seem like there was anything of real consequence in Eastern Palace.
Nope, not very much. I mean, it just the crystal clear, really, and
yeah, it looks like Duckie just taking advantage of a situation that went a little unfortunate and just taking a few.
Yeah.
He few blocks to face to speed up that. Well, they have a mirror. I guess they don't really need a death warp.
Yeah.
If they didn't have a mirror, that'd be a great death warp strategy.
It would.
But might just do it anyway to recharge the health. Who knows? Oh, there we go. Yep.
There it is.
Old good old classic Hera basement Pearl.
Mm-hmm. A French vanilla pearl. So that's was definitely the call to go to the mountain.
Yeah.
Still don't have the Dark World access though, so let's see what we find on East F Mountain.
Now, Duckie would be a pretty interesting position after this because they still have Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they go to Eastern Palace if we don't get Dark World access here? Or do you think they take a chance and do Aga and maybe kind of combine Pod and Eastern after that Aga play?
If they don't get Dark World access, they 100% dip Eastern Palace because it is fully clearable and there's 3 checks plus the back of Saha's hut. So it's a denser check, but if they do, I think they go right to Dark World. That's what I mean. That's at least what I would do.
And we got the Dark World map check. We got other 5-6 Skull Woods and Thieves and TR other pendants.
Green pendant, Turtle Rock.
TR. Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, nice mushroom on on the floating island.
You know, we get Dark World access, and there's still at least 1 or 2 Go Mode items.
Yep.
And you get the Hookshot Cave.
All right, let's see what they do here. I know Duckie's Mentor Kiebs can definitely be an unorthodox router. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what they decide to do here. And looks like they're taking the Ishin play.
I think it's a smart check. You know, again, being 6 checks and a crystal over here to potentially avoid having to do Aga. You know, I think it's a smart play.
Yep. Oh, very nice. Spider Sword, Moldorm, Bydey.
Yeah. So that one thing on that we could actually mention here is that prior to joining the Mentor Tournament, Bydey is an NMG runner of A Link to the Past and a pretty great runner at the game. His execution is fantastic in most of the boss fights. The Armos fight that you saw earlier, the Moldorm fight you saw just now. He has a great knowledge of, you know, how to perform those fights efficiently. So that I wonder how that's going to play out in this race against Duckie, who isn't bad at all in any sense of the word.
Duckie, in fact, I would say Duckie's execution has been pretty darn solid.
It has.
Well.
I had the luxury of racing both of them in this group. Both were amazing runners in their plays. Watching back the VODs, their execution, their knowledge, you know, it's amazing. You know, this is definitely a great testament to both of their strengths.
Yeah. And I think while both runners are retracing intercepts, let's just take the time to shout out our trackers, Namulith and Phyrie, both taking on one runner each, getting some good experience themselves, and our Restreamer, Mukau 1980. Would not be here today if Mukau was not putting on the show for us. Give our trackers, our Restreamers, and our runners, Duckie, Bydey, and the mentors, JohnSnuu, Kiebs, along with my wonderful co-com, Frankie Fusion 22. Hope that was enough plugs for everyone.
Yeah. As well, if you guys haven't already, you guys really should go follow Shinmaru. He was alongside of being my co-commentator, he was my mentor for my race against Bydey. And I learned for the most part of the mentor tournament, I had another mentor, but when the option arose to pick somebody else, you know, Shin's knowledge of this game is amazing. So, and he puts on quite a show, especially with his tournament runs and everything. So definitely give him.
Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it.
Of course.
All right. So after this, I would not be surprised to see both of them go straight for Aga, and that all they have left are two pretty out of the way checks in Agina and Sick Kid.
I don't know. I think I want to see what's on Sick Kid. You know, I really do. I really want to see that. Those are my favorite seeds where Aga is technically not required, but you know, you don't make that isolated check, you know.
It's just a stupid Sick Kid hammer or some garbage.
Right. Yeah, I think this is where Bydey goes right to Aga now. Yep.
Just a little bit off on Armor's Spook Bill, but still recovers nicely.
Yes.
There's crystal number 2 for Duckie, so yeah, all tied up.
Little bat problems there for Bydey.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned Bydey's an energy runner. He usually has Master Sword by this point.
Yes. So you got a little bit of that tendency stuck in there.
Well, yeah, a little bit of that muscle memory. Like, I should just be able to hit this, right?
Right.
Yeah, as expected, both of them going straight for Aga. Or the isolated checks. Again, makes sense. They got a lot of Dark World open to them. They could go to Pod if they want. See what the bow might be locking there. They could go West Dark World, make that loop.
So, what do you think, Mr.
Honest,
what would you
in
do?
this scenario? I think I would have. If I were in Duckie's position, I think I would have done Aga even before Eastern and just comboed Pod Eastern. But I think in their scenarios, I think I still like Pod because Thieves is a pendant, and we don't really have Fire Rod yet for Skull Woods.
Right.
And the whole loop all around, while it has a lot of items, it's still a lot of time investment kind of going all the way around.
Absolutely. And having certain items lock things as well. You know, like if you're doing West Dark World, you would like to have the overworld items you would need too. You know, granted we have Mirror, but Hammer, Mitts, you know, they come in handy as well to kind of loop in the whole entire chain of it all. And not having Fire Rod. I think Pod is the go-to. That's how I would read it, at least.
Yeah. 1.5 hearts Bydey playing a little safe on this very narrow walkway, getting through. Pretty tough room coming up for Duckie. These guards can mow you down in a hurry if you let them.
No, what a great start to Aga.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. 3 in a row.
Yep. Aga showing off exactly why everyone who plays Rando loves this fight to death.
Yeah. And there we go, finally.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, see where they go. I think I either play West Dark World or Pod. Pretty just following myself, so see what they do after this pyramid check.
Piece of heart.
Just a piece. Yep, the old piece of heart. And all right, looks like we're getting catfish. Maybe catfish. Definitely West Dark World from Bydey.
Yeah, we are getting catfish. Okay. I don't know. I think I like this play. You know, I know it's an isolated check, and sometimes it's good to route it in with Zora so it doesn't feel so gruesome in the long run. But you know, this is.
There's almost never a better time to do catfish than
exactly
after Aga. There's the map check from Duckie.
Yeah, Bydey walking it back, and from Somebody in chat, yeah, if you have the mirror, you should always do catfish here. Save and quit takes you back to pyramid. That is definitely an efficient route in that regard too.
Yeah, exactly. If you still wanted, if you're still on the fence about doing pod versus
Right.
West Dark World, not a terrible strategy. And welcome in Raiders from Scottish Brave 44, the party of 12. We're in the middle of a mentor tournament Swiss matchup between our remaining undefeated runners, Bydey and Duckie. They have both chosen to do Aga and are in the Dark World right now. Still looking for Hammer or Mitts. Coming in specifically for one of Brave's favorite checks, the catfish.
Yep, and King's Tomb giving out Quake here, which was our first medallion of the seed.
Yeah, we need at least one medallion since Misery Mire is a crystal.
Oh no, that green turtle rock, I'm calling it. It's required. And just bombs on the graveyard ledge. And looks it. So both of the runners doing their routes are extremely similar so far.
Yeah.
The only divergence thus far was that Duckie went to mountain, and that was it. But I love this check on bumper ledge though. I've seen a lot of people skip it, just trying to get somewhere quick, and I wonder.
I mean, yeah, you have the cape. Yeah, you have the cape. You're definitely checking bumper.
Yeah. It's also, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's also an obscure check too. We got cape super early, right? And if it wasn't for Aga, of course, I know I've seen a lot of races, and I've seen people just kind of forget it. It is what it is. But I like this.
It's in a very awkward spot.
Yeah,
sure.
But I love this Skullwoods dip play. I do.
Oh, yeah, if I'm doing Aga and I'm still missing these Dark Wolves, I'm definitely taking a very thorough.
Yes.
Especially because getting back here as it is right now is awful.
Yeah, without Hammer or Mitts, yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh, wow. And
there we go. There's our Mitts.
So it doesn't feel that bad anymore, I was sitting here thinking we had compass, big key, map, we had all those already, so yeah. Not bad. The only item out of the front, so we know there's another one back.
And yeah. See if the Duckie and Kiebs pick up on that, because with the compass, map, big key, and one item already in hand, you kind of know, you actually can tell by logically that that last chest, the mummy room chest and the bridge chest, are both small keys. This Moth cannot have a small key.
Right.
So after getting those Mitts, they could, Bydey and JohnSnuu could just skip that last. Well, I guess getting the key is not too terrible, but they still have. I'm not sure they got the pot key.
Right. Yeah. See, that's something that I've started picking up on myself being a mentee, is learning about logic checks in dungeons like Misery Mire, Skullwoods, and Pod. So
yeah, it's nice knowing at least the simple ones that you kind of save yourself a little bit of time. And there you go. Your curiosity satisfied.
It is.
Red mail on.
That's fine. I'll take it. That's a good safety check there.
Yep.
And holy smoke, rating with a party of 3. Welcome in.
Yeah, they say red mail's for cowards, and I am a proud coward. Give me that red mail.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yes, welcome in Raiders. We're in the middle of a mentor tournament's final week of Swiss between our two remaining undefeated runners, Bydey and Duckie. They're both finding. Well, Bydey's already found mitts in Skullwoods. Duckie's just about to get them.
Right now. So far, one item in Thieves Town so far found.
Yeah, they're both in the skiers. And again, not terrible because you'll get 2 keys. You can just kind of skip.
Yep.
Through everything else once you eventually do Skullwoods.
Yeah. I think that was a good play too, dipping out Thieves Town after the first. I mean, you found 2 items, at that point.
Yeah. Pendant Thieves is just such a wild card.
Yes.
There's not all, unlike a lot of dungeons in this game, there's not like any kind of one item or anything that kind of gates.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you could say maybe hammer,
Right.
but there's nothing stopping you from completing Thieves without the hammer. It's just that you don't have hammer. Some things might not be in logic, or you might not be able to open the chest.
And getting that small key in the front of Thieves 2 doesn't help.
Yep. It makes things more complicated. Suddenly, hammer could be on blind.
Yep. Duckie getting his red mail now. And all right, so we have Bydey going ahead and doing the Smith. I don't disagree with this right now because of, we got mitts. That's fine, but
yeah.
They really need some Dark World or not Dark World. They really need some items here to kind of lead the way.
Oh, interesting. And going for the powder check. This is in logic with mitts in the mirror. This is a very nasty place for hammer if this is where it is.
Just a big old.
Yep, the magic bat as useful as always.
I like the magic bat. I've gotten some pretty good items off of that check. And Smith giving us 10 arrows.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing about doing the bat check there, which means Bydey's gotta run all the way back around, go back up, and go back into the Dark World portal.
Yeah. But thankfully with the mitts, though, it makes it just a little bit quicker. Not having to walk all the way around with just the hammer.
Yeah. Yes, if nothing burrows out here, there's not a whole lot of options remaining. We have Dark Death Mountain now, which is 4 checks in Hookshot Cave, 2 checks Super Bunny. We've got Pod.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost kind of has to. It feels like there's probably going to be something. You have first chest of Swamp if you're a big clown.
I was just gonna say that. Actually,
one of my favorite big clown checks.
Yep. That first.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes. One of our trackers pointed out. Yes, there's the mystery mushroom.
Oh, that they can get.
Very, very obtainable now.
Yes.
Absolutely nothing stopping that from being the hammer. Bydey giving us Hookshot Cave while Duckie follows along, having done this once. I think Duckie skipped Magic Mat.
Yes.
So
How
save a little bit of time. Yeah, save a little time there.
Yeah. Okay. Hype Cave, not so hype. I believe now Bydey's going to finish up that purple chest, and then this is interesting. Not really much. Now, do they go? Does he go up the mountain? Does he go pod?
Oh, Agina from here. Okay.
Okay.
This is.
And checking.
I'm gonna check the ledge as well.
I swear the dash lines are excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. Duckie saying no to Agina. I know Kiebs is not an Agina fan. And in this case, he is correct. Duckie still got Pod, and then not Pod, Hype Cave, and then there's a decision to be made.
All right, so we got a mountain climb, another Dark Death Mountain. Yep.
Yeah, Dark Death Mountain play makes sense if you made the decision to skip Pod for the time being.
I think this is a good play. You know, there's a lot of checks up here, and that mushroom as well. You know, I think this is a good play.
I was thinking for a moment, maybe the save and quit to go to Pod from Duckie, but no, maybe just forgot that they need to be in the light world.
Yeah.
Save and quit after Ag when you have that mirror.
Just a piece, or just a full heart from Super Bunny Cave.
Yep. Three bombs, another 3 bombs. Oh, Sankheart. Finally, some excitement. Oh,
wow.
So that mushroom, only thing we're getting from this Dark Death Mountain. Although I would definitely check what the Team Iron Medallion is if they haven't done so already. All right, we're getting that check from Duckie. Is Bombos. Okay.
All right. Yep. Expected Bydey to check it as well, and then expect to save and quit. Yep. Into Pod we go. See, it's always Pod. What is going on? Or not.
Okay, yep, going up to check that mushroom
That's right.
immediately.
There's no better time now. I mean, we don't have flute, so.
Hopefully, yeah.
I love this.
Question chat. Yeah, this little, nice little quick warp technique. Yeah, question chat. We done catfish. Yes, catfish was nothing, and unfortunately, this mushroom also nothing.
Wow. Literally,
So-
every fetch quest here so far was literally nothing.
All right, so yeah, all we have left now are pod and the first chest of swamp and the back of thieves, which may or may not be in logic depending on where that small key is. I do not remember if we got the small key in front.
We did.
We did. Okay.
In Thieves Town, yes.
It's not a lot remaining on our runners' plates right now.
I'm trying to think of what would be the. I mean, obviously finding hammer would be good to be, inside a pod to finish pod and not force a double dip. But I'm wondering just how mean this seed could be.
Yep.
I mean, not finding Samaria and Ice Rod would be nice. Don't really want to see a third mountain play for a green pendant, but.
Well, they can't get into Turtle Rock without that hammer, so that's not. I think Fire Rod and Pod probably feels a little bad.
Yeah.
I think both these runners are kind of hoping for hammer. You're definitely hoping for hammer.
Absolutely.
And you're wondering, oh, did my opponent take this die first? Did they? The same thing I did.
I know that's exactly what I'm thinking. If my progression item's in here, I'm like, oh boy. Flute.
Oof. That's also kind of feels bad item.
Yeah, but then again, if that's what we get here, you're going into another dungeon potentially, depending on what the medallion is, without that dungeon's item. So that's interesting.
Yeah, my experience, hammer loves to be in mire. Absolutely loves it.
I think that would be mean. Hammer in mire with Samaria on Helma. Like, I think that would be mean.
Yeah, desert also an option now. So yeah, my friend and mentor homemade beer in the chat probably living the high life right now. He got that flute 20 minutes ago. He's already in desert, getting ready to planning his ped pull. All right, so this is the flute's the one thing. Yeah, jeez, flute is just the one main thing a Constance got in here so far. Is just $20 and 3 bombs.
Oh boy,
And
getting bullied there.
Yeah, I'm not sure he meant to make that check, but he got kind of bumped, and Bydey got bumped into the door by the turtles.
All right, so I guess our maze has our answer, other than flute.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not. I think flute feels like the main thing. I wouldn't expect anything in here, but obviously, yeah, still looking for the big key.
I don't know. I think I'm still expecting something. I don't know. I just, you know, it's upsetting to see the flute.
This game does not care about anyone's feelings.
Okay.
Oh, ether. Okay.
I guess that feels a little better, you know. The 66 chance medallion for Misery Mire is not bad, you know. And it's all. I'm also glad it wasn't Bombos, you know.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, nice, interesting bit of routing here from Bydey. He's gonna save and quit to go to the pyramid, and then we'll be running to Cacrum here. Not 100% sure. Again, I would have no idea personally the time difference between doing that and just mirroring saving quitting a sank.
And Duckie leaving pod 2.
Yep.
Yep. It is amazing at this point. Both of these runners have, other than that one divergence, they have done the exact same plays. So. So what do you think? Is the answer in desert or misery?
And given we have like 2 medallions already, I'm feeling a hammer and mire, but I would not be surprised if they just check desert first. It's a little too quick for me to see what the mire medallion was.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. At least the silver arrows are nice and free this seed.
Yes. Always love
looks like I think Duckie's going to take this opportunity to do the magic bat check. And have a little bit of time back to Bydey, but I think this makes sense in their situation because they're not sticking around in Dark World after, or at least this area after this.
Right.
So after they do the magic bat check, they can just flute away. So they're going to save the little bit of time that Bydey had to spend running up to the Dark World portal.
Mm-hmm. It's the way it's looking. Got to full clear the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bydey forgetting a little bit there. Didn't have the big key.
Yeah. Duckie has not been over in this area yet, so peeking the desert ledge item. And it looks like our Samaria. Just looking at the track, I was a little distracted, but it looks like Bydey's pulled our Samaria in here. So I guess it's nice to have that before you go into Mire.
Yep, absolutely.
So hey, we have a fun Vidi hammer now.
True. Yeah, it's definitely got to feel. So, you know, the progression was in Pendant Desert, but that was definitely felt good to at least get that before dipping.
Yeah. Oh, yep. And that ether from Pod Big Chest immediately put it to use as well. So Bydey in Misery Mire, Duckie gonna get there, Samaria, and presumably follow.
If we don't find the hammer in Misery,
Well,
we do still
it's
have
pretty,
that
yeah.
swamp,
Well, that is,
we still have that
we don't have a
swamp
lot of
deck.
options left after that. But I think it's probably, it feels likely that hammer is in here, but we'll see.
Who knows anymore with this seed? Yes, 45 has been done.
Yep. Bydey's gotta be a little careful here.
Mm-hmm. Uses that potion that they picked up earlier.
See, your safeties are there to be used.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, the biggest time loss in this game always come from dying.
First item in Misery, a piece of heart. That's always good to see.
Yep. Yep. Looks like Bydey's preparing these blocks ahead of time. Still needs to blocks at the top room. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The master kind of adding another screen transition.
Yeah.
A couple screen transitions actually up here.
Yeah, you actually have enough time to move the blocks like these two, move
Yep.
down the screen, move those blocks like the torches. Yeah. Wow, there it is.
Oh, no,
Two
boy.
items gone. Wow.
Oh,
So,
where my
Pod
swamp
Big
where are my swamp guys in chat?
Yep. That pod was not forced double. Wow. What a seed. Absolutely beat Misery Mire now. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a crystal.
you got silver. Yeah, you got silver.
Silver,
Viddy's not
yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
difficult at all. Wow, yeah, I'm actually legitimately surprised.
Yep.
Although,
What a seed.
yeah, from my vantage point in the booth, I'm very delighted.
Yes. Great seed to get for these guys coming in undefeated. That they get a little, a little trolley.
And yeah, it's definitely the seeds that you love to mentor.
Yes.
They're like, oh my god, where do we even go? Yeah. And
Welcome
yeah,
in,
like
K-Mir and the party of two.
Yeah, the matchup between undefeateds in this last week of Swiss in the Mentor Tournament. Bydey versus Duckie. Both still searching for their hammers. In Misery Mire now, the hammer is not in here. Found both items already.
I believe the other checks that they have is Swamp, right? And I mean, well, no, they do have East. Actually, no, they can't do Ice Palace either. So
yeah, no Ice House yet. I would presume Duckie is going to do Agina after this.
Right.
I don't think Bydey has done checkerboard yet, but
I believe he did.
Oh, he did?
Before
Okay.
he went into desert, yes.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
I think they go right to swamp. I think that's.
I mean, there's not. I don't.
I think
I
that's
don't.
it.
I think that's literally all they have left.
Right. Very hard last locate here.
Yep.
I mean, in all honesty, though, last locating a single item in swamp, I think that's acceptable because I think if your item's there, it'd be tough to think your opponent's going to check swamp randomly for one check, And I will say that with the caveat that yes, Specky Clip is not allowed, but it'd be a different story.
Yeah. It can be a tough sell. Like, the camera can always be there, but it's also, again, a lot of time to spend for one check because you gotta mirror, you gotta do the dam, kill the enemies. On there. But that said, I still do it all the time. It's very funny to me when Hammer is in there.
Yes.
Yeah, even in a seed I'm playing. Oh yeah, Back of Thieves. Yes, that's right. Back of Thieves is also a thing. And then, yeah, Back of Thieves before going back down to Swamp. Yeah, definitely makes sense. I guess they must have... Okay, I think... Yeah, they must have skipped the second item in here. Going back in, and a little unfortunate, more time lost for Duckie. So yeah, I like to forget about the back of Pendant Thieves. That's why I wasn't thinking about it at all. But yes, yeah. And again, like we said earlier, that small key is in front, so everything back here is in logic. Or at least, yeah, the attic chest, the boss, and Maiden Cell all in logic. Oh, very, very well timed dash out of the attic for Bydey, just as that bomb exploded the floor.
Question in chat: would you do Swamp first before going to the Back of Thieves Town?
No, I think you might as well do Thieves first because you're going down in that direction. And there we go. Yep, there's the hammer. Yep. Of course.
All right. Can't say this is the first time having gotten screwed over by the Back of Thieves Town, not doing it, so...
Again, yeah, I was putting it in the chat. Not even locked by that small key.
Right. Bydey going ahead and just 100%. Oh, I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Dipped out.
Yep.
Right into hammer pegs. So where do you go here? Right to swamp or clear out pod?
Honestly, I feel like just kind of clear. Yeah, I think the pod play makes sense. Like, it's not going to get really any faster from here.
I believe there is an item on Helmasaur as well, too. Yes. So that plays a big role. As well, keeping in mind that both of the runners are still on Fighter Sword nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah, although here, yeah, if you're competent with spin speed strats for Helma, this loadout isn't too terrible. And use your spin speed to extend the hitbox of the hammer and still get some good tempered sword damage on Helmasaur. And with Red Mail 12 Hearts, definitely a much comfier Helma fight than I think Bydey would typically be used to in energy.
True. As well,
A lot more protection.
They also have silver arrows too, so.
And silver arrows, yes, exactly, yes.
So yeah, I would presume at this point we Fire Rod is all they're looking for.
Yep. Yeah, Fire Rod and Sword, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly Bombos if you want more memes, more fire locked fire.
Yeah. I don't know if you want memes, put the Fire Rod right in Turtle Rock, right in that first chest on the left.
That first check in Turtle Rock.
That would be fun. Yes, fun.
I mean, he didn't specify fun for whom. Just said fun.
Very true.
Statement's still accurate.
You might be having just a little trouble with. There we go. Nice 3-in-1. I will say I've gotten caught by that a lot. Using the hammer too early, trying to kill those turtle. Oh man, it's frustrating sometimes.
All right, and Duckie also will decides not to beat blind. Which, I mean, if you're in Fire Rod Go, Pet is dead, basically. Yeah. So it's a good decision.
All right, just 20 on Helma. So I do believe it is Swamp next. Though how funny, and I do say funny, would it be if Fire Rod's on blind?
Well, I think if they didn't beat blind, I assume they got all the items if they didn't beat blind.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah.
If blind doesn't have an item, there's no point in beating blind because Fire Rod cannot be on the pedestal.
Well, then
because of Turtle Rock.
Right. Now I'm feeling a Bombos and Swamp here, so. I'm just hoping they find Bombos so they have to go to Turtle Rock for Fire Rod. Yeah.
All right, so both runners in Swamp now. Duckie electing to do this before Pod.
Yeah, that's always a question that you wonder. You are one item from go mode. Do you skip left side swamp here, Shin?
Initially, I think I do. Mate, this is tough. I don't know. It's tough, but you are versus one item. You figure something to give you some direction has to be in here. Like this is like really like the one thing you have left at this point. They both pretty much full cleared by this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would still kind of hope to save a little bit of time. Personally, so I would definitely be rushing the back, but I think a left side swamp play is not like unjustifiable.
Right. But then it also raises the question now, let's say they find Bombos here and Fire Rod is left side swamp.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Boy. Ooh, boy. If I find Bombos, I probably go back in. Like, cause I mean, that's so tough.
Yeah. Especially also finding the big key right there too.
Yep. And yeah, not going back for the check. I mean, yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if it makes you feel like Duckie's definitely going back in.
Yeah,
they don't
Bydey
Fire Rod.
Yeah.
They Bydey hoping save a little bit of time. Okay.
Yeah. And
now, interesting.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I can't do that now. Interesting.
Well, let's see if this pays off here.
Yeah, Fighter Sword, Argus can definitely be pretty tricky if the puffs kind of even really touch your touch your sword. They interrupt the spin, and spins are the only way you can damage the puffs with Fire Sword. You do slashes with hammer or the Master Sword, but not with the Fighter Sword.
And hammer is very awkward in this fight too, unless you practice it too. You know, the constant like pull two puffs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, many of the hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely if you're still learning the game, I definitely recommend trying to get at least a little comfortable with this a Fire Sword because you'll save the time having to like switch the menu again and again and again and again and again.
Yep. All right, what do we have off the boss? Oh, just a heart.
Yep. So looking like left side swamp has something.
Yeah.
Also, you know, something I was actually something else I forgot. Spike Cave is also an option.
That is true.
It's easy to forget about that because the hammer was so late for us. But Cape bottles as magic extension. I believe that's Spike Cave. Yeah.
There was nothing in swamp. So yeah, absolutely nothing. That's a little feels bad. TR is not an option yet until they get Bombos.
Yeah. Yeah. So especially when you do Aga, Spike Cave is definitely an awkward option.
Yeah.
Because you're doing that save and quit and you're going back to Pyramid.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I believe the answer would have to be Spike Cave at this point. What other checks?
Yeah, I'm struggling to think that there's like anything left I could have overlooked other than Spike Cave. There might. I can't remember if they. Did they find both items in desert?
Yes. There was an item in Big Chest when Bydey finished Misery. I believe it was either Bydey or Duckie. I know one of them went back to the Big Chest and found a piece of heart.
Okay. So there's nothing on Thieves Town. TR is inaccessible. Ice is inaccessible. They don't They both done all these water checks.
Yep. And it is, yeah, the answer, I believe, literally has to be Spike Cave. So what is in Spike Cave then?
Oh boy.
Because I mean, really, ultimately, it doesn't matter at this point. If it is Bombos, they go right over, mirror, open up, TR, Bombos, go up.
Well,
left,
I mean, if it's Bombos, they have to make that decision to
Well,
because Civic is going to send them back to the pyramid.
True, and technically, they can access more of TR.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting.
And there we go. Bydey menuing to the quick swap silver strats. Very fun. Especially because you're living in fear the whole time that you're going to quick swap one too far and get that mirror.
Yep.
It's definitely my favorite strat on the few times I was forced to play swordless during League. Alright, yeah, Duckie going to clean up Helma now. And then I think after they're going to be forced to Spike Cave as well. Alright, let's see. What is in Spike Cave? What will Spike Cave bless us with today?
I would presume these runners are hoping for the end. So
they are definitely hoping the fire rod. I don't know if the seed will take it that easy on them. Oh, there you go. Just that easy.
1 hour, 20 minutes, and 32 seconds. Bydey is the first.
Not quite. Yeah, not quite go mode yet. Still need a second sword.
Well, that's right.
Sword go mode. Everyone's favorite go mode. Sword. Sword can be.
That is just one thing I have not ever been in that kind of a position yet. I mean, I've run a lot of C's, don't get me wrong.
No,
being a mentee,
you do not want to be in that position. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
You're right. But I mean, in all honesty,
sword go mode is very irritating.
Don't forget, there is also one item left in Swamp too. So very well could be there. But I presume every runner is going to GT once they get the 7th crystal, fighter sword or not. There's a lot of checks in GT. I would imagine at this point in the game, there'd be a sword over there.
Yeah, I would presume they're probably checking stuff along the way. But yeah, there are a lot of checks in GT. Surely one of them has to be a sword.
Swords. 3 swords in Turtle Rock. I'm here for this.
Oh no!
No. First check in GT is Bombos. All right, there we go.
And yeah,
Duckie with the helmet kill.
So if they remember, okay, yeah. So if they remember, yeah, they do not need to check bridge chest. The bosses, Moth here will have the item. Just a small key under the bridge. Oh my goodness.
I
have no idea if he has the time to make this work. Nope. I don't think he had the time to make that work.
Yeah, this I know what it's like to be in this situation.
Got a little too enthusiastic.
Yep.
All the fire rod shots ran out of magic a little too early.
There we go.
Fire Duckie, giving Duckie a little bit more time to catch up.
Now this is an interesting boss battle here. 4 hearts, 4.5 hearts, fighter sword.
Yep.
Brings out the hammer.
Yep. Very nice. Yeah, very nice hammer, Moth. Bydey, all the half magic, you love to see it after you could have used it.
Absolutely.
But hey, before Cold's there, so you know.
Yeah. Game's got jokes. Yes. Yeah, that was a very, very cooperative Moth fight.
Yep.
Very, very well done.
And off to Ice Palace for Bydey. Yep, playing the flute early to kind of mess with the values a bit. You'll get this Freezor in this first room to come out a little early so you could just nail it from the bottom.
You see, you learn something new every day. Yes, Bydey did complete Meyer. Fully.
Yeah, Duckie electing to use his blue potion. And it looks like Bydey might be planning to be a little thorough.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see. I think that Pengator check is one that I might think about. I would probably skip in this situation.
Yeah. I think at this point I'm not skipping anything yet, just because I don't want to. There's only a few checks remaining, but having to take the risk also of not getting that next sword.
Yeah. How can I explain? Let's see. I'm being asked to explain Bydey hitting the switch after finding the big key. I don't know. I'm not the one running.
So I will say, if you were to explain that, it would be knowledge to me, because even after I found the big key, I still hit the switch. Even though I'm starting to realize not to. But yeah, it's almost in a way become supreme muscle memory to just do that. I don't know. I fault that a lot.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if he goes iced tea here.
Yeah, right to cold stare.
So, or sort of probably an iced tea, right? The one check you don't want to do.
And the answer was there all along. Yeah, not good. Half magic really coming into play here.
Yeah, there you go. Gotta wait out, unfortunately, gotta wait out that explosion before being able to switch the hammer for Bydey. Yeah, cleans
Very
up
nice.
the final 2+. Yep, very nice.
Very nice cold stare.
Oh, never mind. Nothing in iced tea. I think that was a third item.
Yeah.
Alright, so Bydey will be heading up to GT now, looking for not just the big key, but a sword as well. Do you think we're finding that big key first, or do you think we're finding a sword first?
I think we're finding... You know what? With how weird this seed has been so far, I think we're finding the big key first. I truly think we are.
Yeah, making you sweat it out. Do I continue on more checks, or do I take the chance? It depends on how early I find it, whether I continue.
I think if my normal route now,
especially with how little is left.
That's basically what it is. If like I go to Dark Magician room, mirror, go right side, hope room, and full clear right side, and then find the big key, that's a toughie, you know, because you still have all of left side basically to do. It's tough. I don't know what I would do in that situation.
Again, so sword go mode, very irritating. It feels like I should be able to complete the game, but I can't because I don't have a second sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it almost has to be. Yeah, again, like when chat's mentioning that they've done so much.
Yes.
That's why there almost has to be somewhere, even if it's like buried.
Yeah.
Even if they're all behind ice armors, there's got to be a sword somewhere.
I'm calling it. Bob's torch is going to have a sword.
Bob's torch.
Let's get it rolling. The book.
Exactly what you want to see.
Yep.
There's a book. Two checks, so you can't even get the items right now. Have fun.
I called it.
There we go.
I called it.
There you go. Easiest game in the world. Just skip everything until GT. Come on.
Yep. Go mode at 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 44 seconds is Bydey. Officially.
Yeah. Yep. And Duckie picking up a potion. Yeah. Understandable if you're.
Yes.
Though. Oh, interesting.
Yep. All right.
Not even checking the other two chests to see if there's another sword in here. Right.
I know. I wonder though if they will be checking any other chests moving up.
Yeah, I think with Cape, Master Sword Ganon is not too terrible if you get some good RNG. Like if he kind of sits down by the wall and lets you get in a bunch of doubles.
Mm-hmm.
You can get through it pretty fast.
Oh yeah.
And also, Bydey running through those two Mimics rooms without silver, not using his silvers, about as fast as I could do them with silvers.
Yeah. I was going to sit here. I didn't want to ask the question, but even though I'm a mentee, technically asking questions is great, even as a commentator. Why do Mimics 1 and 2 without silvers? You know, like continuing on without using silvers.
Well, silvers definitely they introduce some lag. The silvers are very laggy to use, and I know that could probably throw you off.
I see. That's
you'll see a lot of runners switch to the regular wooden arrows for these parts.
Yes,
just to reduce that lag.
Yeah, being an NMG runner, I can only imagine the amount of times he's done it without.
Yes.
The way he did that though without silver arrows, you were 100% correct.
It was very impressive.
Very nice Land Mola 2 kill with the silvers, nonetheless.
Yeah, with the silvers. Yep. All right. So there was a small key here, so we interested to see if Duckie decides to go right side, and nope, mirroring out. So they will get their sword. They will get their big key. Not likely lose any time to Bydey unless Unless they decide to check those other 2 chests and they're nothing.
Right. That would be interesting. Really, it would.
Yeah. Not sure even another sword would be quite enough to make up the time, unless Bydey really okay, no.
Yeah,
They're out too.
Tipped out.
And Bydey say, yep, nope, not even checking.
Yeah, I think they're at the stage now. Well, I mean, other than that one.
Yeah, I can definitely understand it. That you're trying to save as much time as possible.
Yes.
You last located your fire rod. You just about last located the hammer. You can't assume that your opponent routed about the same as you did, even though these 2 routed very similarly.
I believe there was only 2 divergences, and that was the mountain and Eastern Palace in the beginning, and then Bydey finishing off Helmasaur before going to Swamp. And that, I think that was really it. They were right on par.
Yeah, they've been pretty much lockstep most of the seed. Oh, oh, I thought he would. Well, thought he would skip that too. Just like, no. Yeah, exactly. Incoherent chat. Yeah, I would definitely be worried about that hammer. Like, I'm not a fan of pendant these, but everyone's different. Everyone routes different. And there are definitely people who would take that chance.
Yes.
And be richly rewarded.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, if that's my opponent, I am getting destroyed in this seed. There you go. Very nice Aga too. Duckie unfortunately getting a little bullied by the shooter.
And here we go. Ganon on Bydey's side. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, getting the double. Yeah, getting the double. Very nice. This is a very nice position too. This is especially in phase. They had another. Oh, this is exactly the kind of positioning you want to see for your. Although you'd rather see it in phase 2 than this is pretty good again with Cape. Yep. Yeah, this is exactly the positioning you want to see. Just cape up, get those doubles.
Now, do they have potion though?
I do not remember. With silvers, it won't be too bad.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would see even with torch. Yeah, torch glitch, you're good.
Yeah.
And very well done.
Yep.
There's 2. Duckie finishing off Moldorm 2.
There we go. Get your GGs in chat for Bydey finishing off Ganon. And crossing the bridge, finishing the Mentor Tournament 6-0. Official racetime.gg time of 1:38:14. GG's to Bydey.
I think that's an excellent time for the seed that they got to. This was
Yeah.
quite the seed. Quite the seed.
Yeah, both runners putting on a very good showing. This is basically a seed where they've pretty much full cleared everything they could have.
Mm-hmm. Last located basically everything, and to the most obscure locations nonetheless.
Yeah.
But definitely, you were 100% correct. Putting on a show, showing why they 5-0 coming into this match each.
And Duckie dropping in to Ganon. Getting that. A friendly RNG to start off as well. And we are joined here by the winner of the race, Bydey, and his mentor, JohnSnuu. GG's to you both.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
GG's, guys. That was quite a race. Quite a
That
race.
was I don't know. I thought I was going to get absolutely pumped. I felt like it was just a rough seed.
Yeah,
I felt like
I was playing Persona while I was bashing his rooms. That's all I was doing.
So
I am super pumped to watch this back because I'm so curious to know like what he did.
Interestingly enough, both of you routed very similarly. There were a couple points of minor divergence, but really you all were both pretty much in lockstep a lot of the time.
I told you no one would go to the back of Pendant Thieves with only 2 items.
Yep. If this is me playing the seat, I would be right there not doing Pendant Thieves and get absolutely wrecked.
Yep.
Well, it led to a good funnel though, right? And
yeah.
It definitely did.
It was quite an experience hearing Bydey's confusion about how we were cleaning up Sick Kid and Agina's Cave and everything else. It was pretty funny to see him. Like, I've never seen Bydey move Link in a full 360 14 times. And be like, what am I doing?
Oh, it was great. It was great.
So what were kind of like the minor things? Like I was wondering, like I actually thought about doing the hammer check out of logic for the what was the spike cave again? I've already forgotten. My brain's mush.
The real only divergences in this seed, and it was funny because we were just talking about it, was in the beginning, Duckie went to Mountain first before Eastern Palace, and after that, the only bit of divergence was you killed Helma before going to Swamp Palace. Otherwise, you guys... and you checked Magic Bat before Duckie did. But other than that, you guys were spot on in your routing throughout.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was... it just basically boiled down... I mean, at that point, it really boiled down to...
Yeah, after a while, there's just not a whole lot of opportunity for divergence.
Like that, no. There's no way. Not in something that linear.
If I'm just talking about the hype because I struggle with this sort of stuff. So like say we decided to just clear the what do you call it, Thieves Town? Like say we'd have got that early, right when we were in Thieves Town, right at the start, how would that have changed the route?
I honestly don't think it would change much. I mean, you
get to do pod in one go, I guess.
Swamp. You get to do Swamp.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you clear Thieves, and then you go through the overworld, you're going to wind up at Swamp Palace, and there was nothing in Swamp Palace.
I'm gonna defer here. After Thieves Town, we would have totally mirrored and fluted back to the mountain. You go to the mountain, you still follow the mitts that you have yet to do. You're able to keep your portal there because then, if anything, you would just be able to mirror flute back to 3 and then just take the portal down and finish your South Dark World route if nothing ends up being on the mountain regardless. You're trying to avoid TR at all cost.
Correct.
Yep. And let's just get everyone, get your GGs in chat for Duckie, finishing with the official race time GG time of 1:43.22.
Hello.
And we are joined in chat by Duckie and his mentor Kiebs. GG to you both.
GG's, guys. That was a
Jeez.
that seed. That seed
That was the crap shoot that was.
that was a seed. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Well,
really,
that was funny
really
too. Whenever Bydey got the big key out of Diver Down, I was like, okay, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. And he was like, I don't know how. I was like, you take the stairs.
I saw we were watching while you guys were doing that. He stood in the stairs, waiting. Like, wait, what? Am I really going back right now?
He's like, I'm just gonna get sucked down. I was like, no, you're not. Hold left. Just hold left.
Yeah, I was lost in a lot of this.
It was. I got to tell you, you guys finishing, going into this race at 5-0, your guys' execution was absolutely phenomenal this entire tournament. But watching this race and the utter confusion at some points, it was so heartwarming to see. I'm not gonna lie.
So confusing. Just trying to think about the logic and think about okay, what could it possibly be right now at this moment? And
yeah, well, this is why we're mentees, I mean, we're still learning every day, and it's amazing because what John had just stated about how if you guys did Thieves Town full cleared it, that logic, what he had stated, is something I never even would have thought of doing. You know, I'm still going around finishing up my round.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's the biggest thing I've found is that, the ability of people who've played the game to get an item and to know what to do. Like, that's the stuff that takes a while to learn. Whereas I'm just kind of getting an item and sort of following the green squares around me, and then I go, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's the kind of the thing in Rando, is that the mental game is one of the hardest things to master. To kind of anticipate what you're going to get and be able to kind of think 2 steps ahead, 2-3 steps ahead. Like, okay, if I get this, this is what I'm going to do next. But if I don't get this, this is what I'm doing next. It's it's very tough to juggle that and execution and all that.
So I'll explain the full fidelity of the hypothesis of if you do Thieves Town in that situation there. If you do it and you do your mirror, you save and quit, you go to the mountain, and then you finish it off with Spike Cave and you get your fire rod there, right? So whenever you finish your save and quit, right there, you're in go mode necessarily until you have to do pod and everything, right? Doesn't matter because whenever you get your save and quit, you're going to end up on pyramid. Just go to pod.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense. And then you take that flute and you roll with that. So
and then you activate the flute, and then you finish your skull, and then you mirror and you flute the mire.
Yep, and then you can go mode basically everything at that point. So you're right, 100%. It makes 100% sense. Just where do you now? You've been playing the game for a long time, right? And Kiebs and Shin, you guys have this amazing mentality of the game, right? So coming into it, that is not something a mentee. I mean, I've been playing the game for just a little bit over a year, so that kind of knowledge is stuff that, unless it becomes routine knowledge, I just picked up the hammer here, Turtle Rock is a pendant, Spike Caves here. You know what I'm saying? The mass amount of knowledge that it takes to route is incredible.
Well, it's kind of like a checklist. Since I haven't been able to mentor, since I haven't mentored this much this year, I haven't been able to talk with this about a lot of people. I talked about it to all the mentees of last year. Mm-hmm. You got to think of every item that you get like a checklist. All right, we got hook shot and flippers. What are those giving us? Nothing. Where's their checklist at? Follow the checklist. Hookshot didn't give you anything. Oh, well, it gave us the Dark World access because we were able to hookshot across. Let's follow that.
Right.
Hookshot just gave us mitts. Okay, we have to make sure that we follow mitts at some point because mitts now has an open checklist.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just keep going down that chain.
That's the kicker, though. And one of the biggest things I've realized from a lot of mentees and speaking to a lot of mentees, and even some people that are not mentees, but not mentors, but veterans that even say logic itself is an entirely different game in and of itself. Following logic, realizing logic, it took me a bit to realize, why did I just find Lamp on the mountain Like that was one of the first logical checks for me, was trying to figure out why I found lamp on the mountain and I had flute. So it took a while.
Like if you get flute, I personally don't save old man for a really long time until I get lamp.
That's like the first thing I do.
Yeah, that's the first thing a lot of people do.
I do it too.
Yep. I'm saving because it makes me feel accomplished. And I did a dark room. Like
It's also why I highly encourage people though. Like if the game is giving you every single item to do a dungeon, why are you just not doing that dungeon? Even if it's a pendant, why are you not doing that dungeon? That's the main reason why whenever we got the small key, I was like, okay, we're gone.
I watched that too. The minute you got it, I was just like, oh wow, okay, here we go. But yeah, nope. Yeah, makes sense. I hate doing pendant dungeons. I'm not gonna lie, especially Ice Palace. Like, come on. But that it was funny because we had somebody ask a question, why do you hit the switch if you're doing Icebreaker? After you just found the GT.
Because we're not gonna open every single chest, you're gonna skip iced tea.
Yeah.
Right. That was now there's a logic. I still don't do this. It's muscle memory to go hit the switch, come over there, and then I walk all the way around like an idiot. But you know,
And also the moment we found a master sword, we were skipping everything else. So if we find a master sword, we just go, right? So you hit the switch for the safety measure of, okay, if I'm not opening everything and I'm not getting every single small key, I'll still be able to kill the boss.
Right. Yeah, I will say I did call Master Sword on Bob's torch though, so I'm accomplished on that one.
Long torch, yeah, that was pretty funny.
Did you finish with a what do you call it, a tempered sword?
No, I had master.
Okay, because
You
I
got so lucky.
I forgot to check 2 checks because I'm just as soon as I see the key, I just mirror. I am terrible for not checking checks.
I did the same thing.
And he's just like, you're not gonna check those chests? I'm like, no, of course not. Why would I do that?
This guy didn't even check everything in the climb. He got the left check at the mini Helma. He didn't get the pre-Moldorm chest,
I did,
but he got validation chest.
I didn't check the ones in the other room either. That's right. I said I was going to, but I just forgot. I am terrible for that.
Don't lie to them. You said you're skipping them.
I checked that one chest and I was like, I'm not going over there. It's too far out of the way. I'll just get the one on the left side and keep going. And he's like, yeah, grab this chest here. I was like, nah, that requires switches. That's too much.
I do have one question though. Did you do the Lazy Drunk Kid and Agina before you went into Aghanim?
No. Well, because when I had Sick Kid, I left Sick Kid like early on, and after I finished Eastern, I was like, I can go do Agina, Sick Kid, or just go straight to the Dark World. And I was just like, no, I'm just gonna go do Aga 1, and I have the mirror. If I find the flute or something, I'll just do those things together. I'm not gonna worry about running all the way. It's way too far out of the way.
I remember that they said a difference.
What we were going to do was backtrack from the mini game and go get it and then go up to Death Mountain was the idea, right, John?
Yeah, whenever we got Bottle off of Maze Race, we were going to run up to Sick Kid, then go to the mountain, but Bydey just up and save and quit.
Yeah, so did Duckie. Duckie just like immediately hit save and quit. And I was like, you were supposed to turn that in.
I was like, I have to come back here anyway. So, I have the mirror, so I'm going to.
Whenever Bydey hit save and quit right there at the Maze Race, I was like, man, all right, I'll save and stop playing Persona. God, I was like, you're all over the place already.
And we were talking about it. Like, I think the hook shot was the kicker for actually just doing Aga and skipping Sick Kid and Agina, right? Like, it's like you have the entire West Dark World. The game gave you the ability to get basically the entire Dark World, and we're really
that's what you mean by the hook shot.
Check. Like, that's,
that's what I meant by the hook shot.
You're like, the hook shot, and I'm just like, it's just a hook shot. Calm down, John.
Yeah, that's the one thing I said that was the one thing I said to Shinmaru. Finding flippers and the hook shot and the lamp and the cape really opened up the option for Aga because you had
exactly. That's what I'm thinking whenever I see flippers and hookshot. Those Aga alarms are just kind of
we were in CAC, and I was like, this is probably an Aga seed because we picked up cape. I was just like, Aga seed.
Yeah,
I was doing the same thing.
I found the cape. I was like, yeah, it's over. It's an Aga seed.
The moment we pulled lamp, I literally just went, son of a
Yeah, and then finding the hook shot. I feel like that one really kind of bit me because I was like, I have the hook shot and the flippers. I feel like they're really telling me to go to the left side, so I'm not even gonna worry about pod right now. I'm just gonna walk away from pod. And then there ended up being some good stuff in pod, like the flute.
Oh man, there's times where I wish that I wish Bydey's stream did not have clean audio. Holy, the way I was just describing how we were gonna route Smith Chain to clean up Agina's cave and everything else, I was just like, no, go left, no, go back.
You see what's funny with Bydey is after our race last week, I hopped into his chat and he had said that, you know, and he's an NMG runner and he's a great NMG runner, so his execution is on point, but he said that his knowledge of randomizer could use some work. So
garbage.
I would 100 completely garbage.
No, my knowledge is terrible. It really is.
I would love to hear the audio of you two during that race, I swear.
I mean, I could have streamed it on my end, and I just now actually thought about that. I should have, but oh well.
It's all right. But
I mean, Bydey, I'm very thankful for Bydey because he's the one that brought me down to like 126 for NMG and everything else. But I keep telling him, I'm like, until you beat me in Rando, I'm still better than you.
Rando is everything. No. Oh man.
I remember when I won the last set that we had and was 4-0, and I remember Kiebs was like, "Great, now you have to race Bydey," and I was like, "Oh my god, oh no!" He's like really, really great execution wise, and I'm not great execution.
However, I really want to point this out as a moderator for the Go Mode podcast tournament and everything else. We really did talk about consideration for NMG players coming over to Rando and everything else, and I kind of want to air this out like fully in the open a little bit. Sorry, admins, but I'm doing it. We wanted NMG players to actually come in because there's a lot of them that are curious about Rando and want to keep playing the game that they love, and shutting them out just because of their NMG execution is not the right way. But however, whenever you see some of these NMG runners doing Rando, like there's times where their thought process goes completely out the window and they have no idea what's going on. And teaching them to get rid of that is still a beginner tournament.
Yeah.
Well, I will say though, I appreciate you even saying that, John, because there's a stigma, right? With an NMG player, the number one thing that comes to mind is they understand the game to an execution knowledge, and they can do the low percent of the game,
absolutely,
and with ease for that matter. So like watching Bydey do Hammer Mothula, right? Like that proved just his game execution alone. And being somebody who, you know, I recently just got into NMG but started off as a Rando runner, it was very intimidating, right? Like when I was 4-0 and got put into this group, I'm like, crap, I have Duckie and Bydey. Like, well, I'm 4-2. Let's just settle in with that. You know, but you know, and
gold bracket though.
Potentially, you know, depending what everybody else is. I think you're right, but we'll see.
We'll you know, finalize the calculations.
But I will say that it is intimidating to be like, well, why are they even in the mentor tournament? But what people don't understand is Bydey is 100% your perfect example of why they should be in a mentor tournament, because just because they have an execution knowledge, randomizer takes your execution and it's great to have, but the routing knowledge trumps that. It doesn't matter how good you are at the game if you're not routing correctly. You know what I mean? Because you'll be last locating everything, and we already know the golden rule is last locate first. So can you route to that point better, right?
And then that's the other thing too, that the bracket stage is going to show that as well, which I hope you guys are ready for that. I hope you guys absorbed as much as you could from your mentors and got practice sessions and did races with them and voice chat, everything else. Because I got a whole Hawk tried to message me last week and then I couldn't do it. The time was absurd because of my work schedule. But Bydey got a hold of me for last year. I was the top one. I did like 30 people or something like that. I don't even remember. But this year I definitely took a seat back. But I watched as many people were reaching out to different mentors, which is huge. That's so big, it's not even funny. And I'm really happy for a lot of people that just up and did that without even being consulted like we were doing last year. So good stuff to everyone, like everyone, not just the 6-0, 5-0, not just you guys, like everyone in here just chilling. It's good stuff. So, but remember too, the mentor tournament's not whenever you stop learning. You can ask anyone anytime.
Yep. That's the one thing about this community that's amazing in retrospect to other communities out there. The welcoming, the openness, everything here. You know, it really broadens your spectrum on a community that is very heartwarming to be a part of.
And everyone here gets to help mentor the next class next year. So
yeah. Oh, I'll be there
keep
for
it
that.
going.
100%.
Something I'd like to add to that whole thing. A couple of things, I guess. So one is that I think maybe people don't also realize that the amount of time that I've put in a short period of time to actually get better at this. So I do have obviously the execution advantage, but like I had never touched Rando in my life. Like it was completely new.
I'm getting questions like of simulators and stuff from him too. Like,
you know,
he put in what he's gonna get out, and that's what everyone should do.
So I'll give you an example, right? So before I even did a seed, I spent about probably 3 or 4 days learning everything in the game before I even fired up a seed. Because that's the way that I approach it, right? If I don't know all the tricks, what's the point?
Correct.
So I already knew all my dark rooms. I already knew how to do the mimic stuff. I knew how to do, you know, the jump where you do the fake flipper things, all the water walks, like all of that stuff I had never done in my life. Any of the splash deletes. So I basically went through the entire list and basically learned them all to the point where I was sort of comfortable doing them. And then I started. So like, you know, people who don't have that knowledge, well, it's easy to be like, oh, well, he's like crushing them. He's doing all these tricks that he knows. Well, I actually didn't know a lot of these tricks at all. I learned them from scratch, right? So I think that's something just to be aware as well. Yes, I obviously do have the execution advantage, but I put a shitload of time into learning and training and just doing seeds over and over again to get, because my first seed that I did was over 3 hours for an open, and you know, and then it was 2:45 the next seed, right? And it like I was getting terrible, so it was awful, right? So it doesn't mean you just start up and you're a god. Like I had to really work at it over 10 to 20 seeds before I was getting, but because my execution was so good, I was able to just start crushing my times down really, really quickly because I know what I need to work on. You know, I don't just do a seed and be like, oh, let's do another one. I will actually watch almost every seed that I do, and I'm like, okay, I made a mistake there. I'm going to work on it. I screwed that boss up. I'm going to work on it. And like, I have a sticky notepad that I have, and I write all these things down when I do seeds. And as soon as the seed is done, I fire up a practice hack and I practice them so that I don't make that mistake again. Right.
And then that mentality is something that really spread throughout last year, which is why Discords like the Rando Playhouse and other ones like kind of just exploded, was because, hey, I had this race, I lost by this much. However, I feel like I did this, and this right. Where did I go wrong? And people will watch it, and you know, we'll literally sit there in Discord live, like our friends' races in that Discord, and we'll yell at them like angry hockey fans. And then they'll come in, and then we'll tell them, you did this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. Why did you even think that was a good idea? And like, it sounds like it's really harsh, but we just do it in like a friendly banter way where it's like, hey man, we're telling you these things to help you out and improve and everything else. It's definitely a good knit.
Well, the two main points of this tournament thing is that number one, you get what you put into it.
Always.
Right. Absolutely. So I've been doing the same thing. When I saw who my group was between Bydey and Duckie, I was practicing Cas boots left and right. Working on, like Bydey made it escape tutorial. Right. Yeah. On dash lines. I literally went through and watched it. And I'll tell you right now, I rolled this. I ran to see that somebody rolled for me. They wanted me to try it. I got a 509 escape. Good. And that was the best time I had ever gotten ever. And ever since then, I've been averaging between the 510 and the 520, which is better because I'm normally like a 530 kind of guy. But you know, you have to practice and you get out of it what you put into it. You know what I mean? I've found so many resources, so many maps and pages of clips and glitches and stuff. I mean, I sat with the practice game and just did nothing but learn what you could, you know, because you got to pull out all the stops. You know what I mean? Like gold bracket, it's filled with Bydey, Duckie, Cryo Monoxide, you know, T-Mobile, Official Alex. Those are the people that are up there right now, right? And they are phenomenal runners. And unless you go into that saying right before that race, right, I'm giving it all I got. I'm taking all my knowledge. I'm doing the best I can, and that's it. You know, I lost to Bydey by 14 minutes, and I sat in his stream as he went over my VOD and explained to me on his account, another mentee, where I lost that time, and he was right on all accounts. And it was a great way for one to meet him, my opponent, and also see side-by-side comparisons. You know, it's excellent to see stuff like that.
I do want to say, when I heard that Bydey was going to be my opponent, I feel like I haven't been that fired up to learn more in Rando in my since I started the game. When I heard I was going to be racing Bydey, and I was like, I'm finding out he's this really good NMG runner. I got so fired up. I felt like I was kind of bugging Kiebs at a time. Like I practiced escape so much, and I asked so many questions, and I was sending VODs, and I was so fired up. I started racing, doing random races in, just the chat just for practice and stuff. And I don't think I've been that fired up to learn in so long.
Yeah.
And,
I'm glad that I'm motivating people like that, and it's not the opposite, because that's not what it's about for me. No. I don't get me wrong, I like to win. Who doesn't like to win? If you don't like to win, come on, everyone likes to win. But at the same time, I'm been part of NMG tournaments. I've been part of these tournaments. I know what it's like to win and lose. When you win and lose in those tournaments, it's almost your fault because it's complete execution. In this, it's not so much. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. If someone routes better than you, you've always got a chance of winning. And that part of Rando has been a blessing for me, because I can sit back and just play the game and enjoy it. And we just had a laugh for an hour and a half. We were just dissing each other, and John's just absolutely hounding me, and I was laughing, trying to do rooms while I'm laughing. He's just, you know what I mean? This is not what other tournaments are like for me. So I'm glad that I'm motivating people, and I'm always good to help people too. I don't care if you're opponent. If I can teach you something and you beat me, good. That's what I'm all about. I always will watch back people's streams, and I'll always go over it. And I always encourage people to come in, because like I said, I can teach you how to do things execution wise, but the Rando part of it's a little bit screw with. But
on the flip side of this, and this will be the last point I make, but on the flip side of this also, there's a little bit more in the group stages of the mentor tournament, because we're not just going against another runner. We're going against another runner and their mentor, and there are an insane amount of mentors out there, right? And everybody's got their names. Everybody knows who they are, and that also becomes very intimidating. I'll be honest. Yeah, I was a little intimidated going against Bydey, right? But I wasn't as intimidated going against Bydey as I was going against Duckie and Kiebs, right? Because Kiebs is known in the other Discord I'm a part of, phenomenal player. His routing is ingenious, and it's I'm worrying more about the mentor aspect of it, because I know who my mentor was, and ironically enough, Iron Gamer was my mentor for a while, and Iron Gamer and Kiebs faced off in a head-to-head, and it was just amazing watching these two amazing runners go through. So there's a little bit more mental play in the group stages, but what I'm more interested in now is the brackets. And not just because it's the end of it, it's because now we're on our own, right? So now, how is Bydey's knowledge solo? Can he remember everything?
This is the point. You're hitting the nail on the head. So another point to this is that the mentors are free to tell me where to go, and they don't have to explain anything. Yep. They know that I can do all the tricks. They just say, go here, do this, do that, right? So I get to just sit back and play. right? What now? I have to use my
I give
own
you the whole
brain.
reason why to do it though.
Yeah. So once it gets to the brackets, I think you'll see a lot more kind of wonky stuff going on with Link. Put it that way.
Hey,
Like
if you can just run around in a circle for 30 minutes for me, I'll be happy. Okay. Just show me. You know what you can do for 30 minutes? Just go to desert and do the desert ledge agate or agonum check back and forth for me. Just do that. All right. Just keep doing that. But well, this was a phenomenal race. Congratulations to both of you guys. Phenomenal runners. This was quite a race. You know, just absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you. I can't wait to watch this one back.
Yeah,
this one.
Me too. So yeah, make sure you hit me up in the chat. With when you do, like, I'm not sure if I'll have time. I'm on holidays at the moment, but I will be watching your stream back probably tonight or something, and I'll just make make little notes and I'll post it in the chat for you, and vice versa if you see anything on the way. So
I think the biggest thing too, really quick, yes, rewatch it and everything else. Rewatch it with the Gomo podcast, VOD and everything else. But again, to prove that everything was real here, watch Bydey's specifically.
Yeah.
Because he has face cam up and
facial expressions tell 1,000 words. That's why I'm glad I don't use a cam yet. So
that man almost fell out of his chair.
But John, Kiebs, thank you guys so much for your mentoring today and being in here for this chat. You guys are excellent mentors and runners in the community. Obviously, very well known.
I'm retired. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Namulith and Phyrie, thank you guys so much for tracking. Shin, my last mentor, thank you for co-comming with me. It was always fun, and thank you for clearing stuff up for me. I'm thinking they're in go mode and they need a master sword. Like that was fun.
Yeah, that's why sword go sneaks up on you,
thanks
man.
everyone for things. I gotta jump out for supper. So thanks, John, for my mentor and the race and restream and all that. Take care, everyone.
Yep. And I wanted to give like a personal shout out to Kiebs because I had no idea what I was doing when I started this. Like my routing was just atrocious, and he's been real patient and helping me out and learning and just teaching me things and asking me questions about what I think I should do, and then like telling me his thought process. And it's been really eye-opening. So I just wanted to give him a special shout out for all of his hard work, and yeah, just wanted to let him know I appreciate him.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
This dude's scary good. Watch out in brackets, and he's going to be main tournament 24. So everybody, watch out.
Until he forgets about how to go to Desert Palace again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was to Bydey.
Oh well.
Don't
worry, I'm not far behind. So.
Oh man. That was great. But also thank you, Mukau, for restreaming this. This was a perfect race.
Yes, thank you.
But
yeah, thank you everybody. And I will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
All right. So yeah, great race for everyone. GG's again to Duckie and Bydey, and great conversation in the end. I think Duckie, Bydey, my co-com, Frankie Fusion, really exemplifying the spirit of the Mentor Tournament. Not just about wins and losses, but learning, getting better, having fun with the game. Awesome to see. Love to see it. Yeah, and thanks again to Mukau 1980 once again putting on the restream, giving us all the chance to see these two great runners side by side. And I believe that's going to be it for us today. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. Thanks again to Namulith and Phyrie for tracking. Thanks again to Frankie Fusion for joining me on comms. And yeah, have a good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And look forward to more Mentor Tournament races to come through the rest of this week and in brackets.